What is up, everybody, here at Pace? My name is Zojalyx, and joined with me is my absolutely wonderful wife.
I'm Dr. Pie.
And we are going to be bringing you guys Lego The Hobbit Restricted Any Percent. So we're going to kind of because this run is going to go really, really fast, we're going to just kind of explain what does Restricted Any Percent mean and something else that we're going to be doing in this run. So restricted any percent, this is the reason why we have our video settings up here first, is because we have to limit our game to 60 FPS. And how we do that is we just set the refresh rate on the monitor to 60 hertz and turn VSync on, so that way we will never be exceed 60 FPS at all throughout the run. Now, another thing that we will be doing is, if you're familiar with most LEGO games, they have unskippable cutscenes. But it was discovered, I don't remember exactly who discovered it, but it was found in the code, this developer-used cheat code called N0CUT5, which we then call no cuts. And it allows us to be able to skip every single cutscene in the game. So we're going to be able to go through this entire run, not having to sit through any unskippable cutscenes, which then makes the quality of the runs a lot better. The pacing flows a lot better, in my personal opinion. Plus, for a game like this one that's going to go really, really fast, having it broken up by unskippable cutscenes is a little rough. So with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in. Timing is going to start once we gain control in the level. So I'll try and do the best I can to count it down. But first, we have this. This isn't technically a cutscene. It's a map scroll. I don't know exactly why we can't skip this part, but it's a nice little cute way to start the run. So yeah, I'm Zojalyx. I run Lord of the Rings games, Lego games, Spider-Man games. I run a lot of games. I think I have over 500 runs on Speedrun.com, and Dr. Pie runs co-op with me.
Yep.
All right, so timing will start in 3, 2, go. Wow, that came up really fast. All right, so basically with this being a co-op game, there's going to be a lot of moments where we are going to try and optimize doing just as many things as we can to, do things fast. And I'm going to immediately just start talking about the first major skip that's going to be coming up in the run, because it happens after about a minute. And basically what's going to be happening is, with the joys of LEGO games, you have what's called your drop-in and drop-out mechanic, one of the things that was absolutely amazing for the LEGO games. And so what we're going to be using in this first major trick that comes up in this next room is I'm going to be doing a dive roll past a trigger that would cause the room to activate for the puzzles. But instead, if I drop out as right before I pass that trigger and then drop back in, I can then actually get control. Did you hit B?
No, I pressed X. I thought it was highlighted.
Maybe it hit me. I don't know.
You weren't even over there.
Yeah, rocks can be annoying sometimes. But anyways, so if I drop out, I can basically keep the roll active and fall past that trigger, and then I can drop back in, being past the trigger that starts the room, and we can just skip the entire room. It is a really, really cool skip. It used to have a really terrible setup where you would drop out player one, and then you would have to jump attack them past the trigger without them running back, which was super difficult to try and get consistent. But now with this new setup, it is significantly easier. So we're going to be seeing it right here, and this will be a huge skip if I can get it. And we got it. So that skips an entire puzzle room, 3 tutorials. It saves over a minute. And
so we also see, for me as player 2, anytime the screen is in the full screen wide mode, I have control of my character, even before you're supposed to have control of your character. So this enables me to be able to do a lot of really fun things. Here, I just got the flute earlier before Zoj could even move. And that is how our next trick works.
Yep. We have all of our materials for the quick build, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so what this section is it's the game telling you about a quick build, which is something that is unique to LEGO The Hobbit. Some people really like them, some people don't like them. And basically what it is you have to gather resources, and then once you gather resources, you put them all into this plan thing here, and then you have to go through and do this build puzzle here, which we'll see all of these spawn, and they spawn their locations in like a completely random order. So there's still
hard.
like a degree of having to figure out exactly where the ones are that you want to put in. That one first, and then that one. And then, but as long as you know like the order, it usually can go pretty quickly. And then we're going to be actually getting set up for our next skip here, which is a Dr. Pie exclusive. It utilizes that ability to have player 2 move in the cutscene, and it is called Barrier Clip. It is a pretty difficult trick, and you only get one try at it. So here's hoping that she can get it. If not, there's still a pretty cool backup, but we're going to be going. She's going to be going for it here, and basically what's going to be happening is a pillar is going to be breaking, and while the camera is still like setting itself up, then she's going to be jumping over it before like the wall triggers, and she's got it. That trick is really cool, and
it skips a bunch of other pillars falling and us having to do some puzzles and stuff. So instead of us doing a bunch of that stuff, we just get to skip all of it.
Yeah, it's a really cool trick, and it can be really scary sometimes because if you are a little bit off, you can actually soft lock player 2 inside the pillar.
So I get stuck inside the pillar and you can't get me out.
Yep, which happened to me during a restricted any % tournament match back when I like first learned this category solo, and it was a big sad moment, but that's okay.
Okay, so this next trick is a Zoj trick. So we do buddy jumps and buddy hovers. So in Lego The Hobbit, but it's called buddy up. So you can we join together and do like attacks and stuff. But when we get this piggyback buddy up that he just did, he can take both of us on this like background. It's called money hops, this skip. So he just does and jumps a super specific way. So instead of doing all the puzzles and stuff, we just skip it.
Basically,
just like that.
Yeah, basically, as long as when I'm hitting the money, if my control stick is in the neutral position and I'm holding the A button, then I will just bounce off the money versus like sinking into it and dying like the game would normally have you do it. So now we just have a quick little 25-second auto-scroller, but that's the first level in the run. Greatest Kingdom in Middle-earth is what it's called. Basically, we were dwarves, and our mountain home of Erebor has been taken over by the dragon Smaug. So, yeah, he's trying to kill us. There's a free mini kit, by the way. Also, one thing, too, to know about this run is, like, you're probably wondering, okay, you're about 6 minutes into the run, and you just now finished the first level. LEGO games have a lot of levels. Well, what's going to be coming up in our first hub section here is we're going to be skipping, I believe it's about 9 levels in, like, one trick. Game broken. That's the big thing to know. And by game broken, I mean this is like the Lego Movie 2, where it's a flawless video game with zero glitches, no bugs or anything like that.
Nothing wrong with it.
Completely flawless.
So our two biggest tricks and skills we use here are buddy ups, like we're doing right now. We've side by side and piggyback. And then these launches, where if we put something in between us and buddy up, it sends us up into the air, which sometimes gets us over invisible walls.
Ooh.
And sometimes it doesn't.
And this first launch is like arguably one of the most inconsistent.
So we just launched over through the bush, over an invisible wall. Now we are out of bounds in the background. You may ask a question that we have asked many times, and that is, why did the developers program terrain you can walk on in the background where you're not supposed to go?
Yeah.
And the answer is, we don't know.
Yeah, there is absolutely no reason why any players would be over in this area. This is not a spot where the developers wanted us to go.
You're never intended to go over here, and here we are.
But just like the way the developers treated the Skywalker saga, game developers make no sense.
But it's okay. We will take it and exploit it.
Yeah. So how a buddy hover works exactly is basically when we're buddied up, you can hit X to do your cool little spin attack. And in that attack, if the control stick, if you aren't moving the left control stick at all, so you're not like you're not trying to move at all while doing the spin, then the game will just suspend you. But in some instances, we might have to adjust the angle of our hover, so we can actually move the stick during the spin just slightly to adjust our angle, and then we will maintain our hover. But like here, I have to move it just slightly so I can slide my stick around just slightly just to make sure that we get the right angle. And then, but as long as I'm just mashing X here, I will not fall at all.
You don't fall until you stop pressing X.
Yep, it's a
Jump in the rock.
it's really interesting, and I love it. So in case you guys were curious, we've skipped the events of the entire first Hobbit movie. And this game only has the first two because the Battle of the Five Armies was supposed to be a DLC, and then the game didn't review very well, and so Telltale Games just canceled the Battle of the Five Armies DLC.
People didn't like how glitchless it is.
Yeah, and
No glitches.
speaking of no glitches, there is a level trigger inside this mountain.
For like 9 levels away.
Yep.
If he hits a specific spot on this mountain, we just spawn into the middle of a level way later.
And there's like a very, very, very precise lineup for it. And
So in the meantime, he's just going to jump into a mountain.
got it. Cool. Third try. I will definitely take that in a marathon. And then here's another example of a perfectly coded game. If we just jump down this cliff, we spawn down at the end of the room.
The tricky part is, though, is that it wants you to climb up against the wall. And if you don't get it good enough, it'll stick you to the wall. But we both can jump down here and skip the rest of the level. So that we just entered the level, and now we're exiting the level.
Yep. And this level normally is like 6 to 7 minutes in like a no levels early run. But
Now we're done.
in that level trigger that we hit, for some reason, puts you in the very last room of the level. It makes no sense as to why it's there or what it does, but it's there, and I'm very happy it's there because it makes for a really weird section. Now we're going to be going into our next level that we actually are going to be playing through the entire level of. This level is the Necromancer, so we're going to go and investigate a
Spooky castle.
spooky castle and do some things.
Do some fun stuff.
Yeah, this is like an actual full level that you guys will get to see.
Yeah,
whoa, what
as
the heck?
full as speedrunners do a level.
Yeah, so we're gonna be having another trick coming up here, and it's gonna be called Birdless. If we get it, which I
Couldn't get it yesterday.
we didn't get it in practice, but I'm not too worried about it. It's not that difficult. But basically what's going to be happening is, as Gandalf, I'm going to be going and wedging myself inside a tree, which is going to be requiring me to actually get out of bounds first and then wedge myself into a tree. And then Dr. Pi is going to go put herself in a specific location, move the camera for about 13 seconds, and then she's going to break the tree because then all that downward momentum that I've been putting on Gandalf will then transfer to upwards momentum, and so then Gandalf will be able to just launch all the way over
invisible wall.
this freaky fog. Oh. And sometimes when you're trying to wedge yourself in the tree, you can just jump back in bounds, which is fine. When you're trying to go fast and you have to like put yourself in a specific spot, it can be a little difficult. So now I'm stuck, and now we just wait for 13 seconds with the camera in this position. This is very riveting gameplay in your speedrun. I know you guys absolutely love just watching us sit here for a little bit, but thankfully, like I said, it's 13 seconds, not that long. So she's going to smack the tree with magic. Gandalf is going to fly up in the air, go zoomy, zoomy, and we are past the wall and skipping that room. So that trick is really cool. Probably my favorite trick in the run. And then here, for some reason,
If I just jump and change characters, Radagast jumps into up here where you're not supposed to go. So, I don't know, don't ask me.
yep, and that skips a whole other puzzle because, you know, why not? And then we're now going to be going into the Azog fight. Azog
Come at me.
is a annoying orc who doesn't want us to be inside this spooky castle.
But we're here.
Yep, and
What you gonna do about it?
basically what's going to be happening is we're going to be getting grabbed by him in 3 phases, hitting him, and then doing this quick time event thing that goes on. It's pretty simple. Not really that.
Corner?
It's not really too crazy. Oh yeah, corner. Sorry, I was doing the commentaries. And then in the second phase, these orcs will spawn, but Dr. Pi can just take them out while I'm doing the quick time event, which is just hitting the buttons a bunch as they show up. No biggie, corner. And we want to go over here into the corner so that way when Azog like does his slam attack, we're slammed into the corner and we're significantly closer to him. Oh, that was weird. I thought that was going to be you for a second.
Yep, because otherwise you end all the way back over here, and then you have to walk far, and we're speedrunners. We don't want to walk.
Yep. One of the things, too, about this Lego game in like comparison to Lego Movie 2, for example, is Lego Movie 2, you are just at the fixed vertical split screen, or fixed vertical, I think is what it's called. But Lego The Hobbit and some other Lego games have what's called a dynamic split screen, which is where if the players are close together, they won't be in split screen mode. But if they like disappear and go away from each other for a while, then they will be forced into split screen mode. So this is the Necromancer fight, which is, I was about to say totally not Sauron. Way to spoil it.
I was joking.
My gosh.
Sorry, that's a big spoiler because you would never figure it out.
Nope, you'd never figure it out.
Oh.
But basically, we put this shield up and blow up these blue bricks, which is going to spawn a little cool magic launcher thingy.
So not Sauron, throws these purple bricks at us, and those do nothing. But the blue ones come, and that helps us build this thing. And then we shoot some magic at it, and it hits not Sauron.
Yep, at which the game's auto-aim never really actually wants to work. See, it's definitely not Sauron in there. Definitely not Sauron.
And we also, this is the only level that actually matters for this. We stud drain here, so we get rid of all of our money, because at the end of the level, if we have no money, it saves us 4 seconds. So we stud drain so we can save 4 seconds, because it's a 30-minute category and 4 seconds makes a difference.
Yeah, so like theoretically, if we could stud drain for every single level, we would, but since
it's not realistic.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a lot longer to stud drain than it saves time. And so, whereas like in this level, we don't lose any time stud draining, so
We're
like
just standing around anyway.
Yeah, so we might as well just do it because we just have to wait for this to go.
So sometimes you'll see us / me a lot just jumping off cliffs and stuff, just to stud drain. I mean, it's just sometimes I'm just standing doing nothing, so just do it. Because why not?
Yeah, and
but this is the only level that actually matters, because it's the only level we can really do anything with. Stud draining.
Yep. And then I'm just gonna drain again real quick.
It's fun though, because when you stud drain a lot, like we just did, half the time the orcs will jump down the cliff with you. So you just jump off and they come to, and it's pretty fun.
As you guys can see, once again, this is definitely not Sauron.
Not Sauron.
That totally does not look like the eye of Sauron right now. Nope.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Nope, definitely
That's
not.
the first time I've seen that.
It's definite. So yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit more during the Return of the King run, but basically I've been running Lord of the Rings games since
stop it.
I think like 2018 is when I started. Oh, that's going to you. That's kind of surprising, but okay.
It's because I'm closer. It always gets
Oh
closer.
yeah, I guess you are closer to the eye itself. And this is a game that I actually originally picked up for a restricted any % tournament because Lego tournaments are super fun, and this game is actually like super easy to just pick up and learn.
It is. I would not consider myself a gamer.
Yeah.
And here I am.
And she picked up and learned this, and we did have world record for a while, but unfortunately, DeHamster and Captain Paxo beat it, which shout outs to them. They're both absolutely incredible runners.
Ice launch, right?
Yes. So we have another launch. We're going to wedge ourselves here at this little like ice pillar thingy. And Dr. Pi is going to be the one to do the buddy up grab here. I was not pulling the right direction. but that's fine.
The
And
right direction.
we're just going to launch over this cliff.
Yeah, that one's really sometimes super tricky.
Yeah, so actually,
Very particular. So that was really good.
that was very good.
I'm impressed. Ah!
And Dr. Pie fell
Not
down a
supposed to do
cliff,
that,
but
but it
it's
happens a
fine
lot.
because I got to the level. And now we have the most difficult launch in the entire run.
Oh yeah. So this one, Zoja's gonna take those two dwarves and wedge themselves in between the in between the rock and try and get up. There's a really huge cliff, and that one was really close. It's very, very hard. So it sometimes takes quite a few tries.
And this is also one of those tricks where like you just kind of have to like get the feel for it, and so it can be it will definitely, when you start incorporating it into runs, will kill runs for a while, because it's a consistent launch. It is just consistently feeling based. And
that was right there.
No way!
If he could get just past that little block, he would have been fine.
There we go.
Like that. There we go.
And now I'm gonna come over here and skip a. Oh, we got
We
it.
just skipped a camera span.
Yep,
Camera
that.
pan.
Which we didn't do in our PB, and I just randomly pulled it out in practice and just decided, you know what?
Literally yesterday was the first time we got it.
Yep. And I have been going for it for a while, but never got it, and then I just got it in practice and was like, oh, that's actually really easy. I was just doing it the big dumb way. So, yeah, we're skipping the majority of this level. We only have like a few little small puzzles. And since I got the camera pan, there's literally nothing for Dr. Pie to do, unfortunately.
Normally I would try and go up with him just because I can, but because he got camera pan, if I go up, I'll hit the trigger, and then it doesn't do us any good for the camera pan skip.
And now we have another. Wow, first try spin launch. No way.
Okay. So that one we buddied up, and then he spun us up and jumped like that. That was literally, we've never had it that good, literally ever.
That launch is
That
pure
was
RNG.
impressive.
Like that, like no matter how well you set it up, that launch is just RNG on how well it's gonna work.
Yeah, it's a hard one. Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah, this is great. This is
Actually
great.
Pretty good.
So we're actually already going into the final level.
It's the longest level for sure.
Yes, it is. It is definitely the longest level by like. Well, actually, now with our golds, Necromancer is still technically longer.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So this is inside information. So basically, we have buddy launched and buddy hovered and trigger skipped our way all the way back to the Mountain of Erebor. So heck you, Peter Jackson, we can do in 20 minutes what you did in 2 movies. And so in this level, we're going to be sneaking around Smaug. We don't want to get caught by him. He has this like little spotlight that shows his vision. And if we get caught, then
like that.
This happens. You die instantly, and we can't activate the trigger for the next area. But it's no biggie. It's only like a 2-second time loss, so it's like whatever if it happens.
So where the spotlight is where his eyesight is, and we also continuously roll here because it's faster than just walking, because walking is super slow.
Yep. And yeah, so we're going to be rolling in this stealth section a lot because...
Now that I have a chain, I will wind up my chain and go swinging around because it causes destruction and move fast.
You do get big zoomy zooms with the chain. No, yours is the next section. And then
Hold on.
Oh. I fell. Because I tried to...
It's a little bit to wind up the chain, but...
I'm over here like trying to be extra fast and it ended up
you just got in the way.
I do that a lot. I try to go fast and then I get in the way and it slows us down. I should stop trying to go fast.
Just stop getting in my way.
So this next thing that comes up is something that Dr. Pie, I think you like accidentally did it or something like that.
Yeah, I discovered it on my own.
But basically what's going to be happening is there's going to be a camera pan, and since the player 2 has that like early cutscene movement, then Dr. Pie is just mashing X, and so while the camera is panning, Ballin will just smack that little shield breaking thing there, and then it basically as if it never even existed in this section anyways. See, there it goes.
I pulled my axe out early and then got it. It saves us like half a second.
And then this is Chandelier Skip by,
which we failed. If I wedge myself into this corner and Zoj kills me and then takes my spot, it pushes me on the other side.
What the heck?
If it works properly. It pushes me onto the other side of the chandelier, and so we don't have to do the chandelier, and it saves us time. And because we didn't hit the trigger, I can walk into Smaug's eyesight, and he won't actually see me because we haven't hit the trigger.
Yep. So it's definitely worth it. Like, it doesn't save a lot of time if you think, like, in the grand scheme of things, but since you also don't have to worry about Smaug's vision, it is very, very worth to go for it.
Because I can just use my chain to just move instead of having to, like, roll and be out of eyesight. I can just go.
And that is the end of the stealth section. And then, for some reason, so, you know, we talked about no cuts allowing us to be able to skip all the cutscenes. Well, the developers decided to prank us and make this cutscene still unskippable. So we have like a 2-minute cutscene right now where there's really not going to be anything happening. It's a 2-minute unskippable cutscene. So, yeah, this run could be pretty close to sub 30, or not sub 30, sub 20 if this cutscene weren't in it. But at this point, this cutscene's here, and there's not really anything we can do. There's nothing we can do to speed it up. So if you guys have been enjoying this run, I highly, highly, highly recommend picking it up. There is a wonderful tutorial that was made by, I believe it was Captain Paxo, that is really great for getting into this game. If you're interested in just LEGO speedrunning in general, maybe you've watched like the Complete Saga Summoning Salt video, or just the LTA that was here at one point, or just anything involved with LEGO speedrunning, and are like, I want to do this, but the 1P2C is terrifying. This is a great game to start with because there's enough 1P2C where you can practice it, but it's not like so much where you have to be like an expert at 1P2C in order to get a good time in this run. Like, for instance, my PB in single player is 28 minutes, which I would consider actually to be a pretty good time. And I'm not good at 1P2C in the slightest. So, yes, we're going to eat chicken that's going to be cooked by Dragonfire. So, yeah, I highly recommend picking up this run. Honestly, pick up LEGO speedruns. They're really freaking cool. And more people should run LEGO games. That's just the straight fact of it all. So now we're going to very much do this.
Another launch? What a shocker.
Yep, just as the developers intended.
Exactly how the level's supposed to be played, because there are no glitches in this game.
Nope, no glitches.
What is happening? Whee!
See, you guys say that this is a glitch. This is not a glitch. So we are not cheating right now.
Dropping me off in here.
And then we're going to, well, guess what?
Immediately do another launch. Wow.
Because oddly enough, if we did that first launch, but then couldn't do this launch, then we wouldn't be able to actually do this level, this part correctly, like as intended, because the characters that we have right now
are the wrong characters.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be here.
Whee!
Oh.
We're trying to get up on top of this thing so we can get water on Smaug.
Yep. And this is...
I can just destroy this other box. It's not going to work.
Yeah. We might just... Yeah, let's just do that. Because this launch is being a little finicky.
If I destroy this box over here, then it helps because I can get into position better.
Yeah, the launch becomes a little bit more consistent.
But it also takes time to destroy the box.
Yep. And there we go. So we're going to launch up there, and then the camera's going to get a little freaky outy here for a second. So if you're sensitive to that, just be ready for that, because the game is not ready for us being up there that way and doing things the way that we're doing. Oh, hey, that actually was not that bad. Wow, okay.
And we are very close to the end of the game.
Yeah, so we have about like a little bit over a minute left. We just have to put in this really, really, really difficult code that is definitely...
That's definitely not the same every time.
Yeah, definitely not that you're shooting me.
Stop it, go up. So we're making some smoke bombs to hit Smog with. And Zoj switches to keyboard here because our next trick is much more consistent if he's on the keyboard, and this is the only good time he has to switch to keyboard.
Yep.
So he switches here, and we are going to do...
Shoutouts to the 2 Thorns down at the bottom.
Wait, bro, I've never seen that before.
I've pointed it out multiple times.
How have you... never seen that. Why am I not throwing? Because I'm pressing the wrong button. That is why.
That'll do it. So yeah, we just have to throw these flash flames.
And he just sits there really patiently while we berate him.
While we like pelt him. So
yeah, he's very patient.
We have one more launch in the game. This one's called Jack Launch. This one is... Oh,
Hello?
that was the wrong... Okay. Oh, that's right. I didn't have the right button bound for that, but that's fine. So this launch normally is really inconsistent, but for some reason, a runner named Flaming Laser figured out a way to make it more consistent on keyboard, and that was that. So time will be coming up here in just a few seconds.
Right.
And time. 28:48. That's a really good run.
That's our best marathon run yet.
Yeah, definitely our best marathon run. So yeah, that was LEGO The Hobbit, restricted any percent. As you can see, this game goes by absurdly fast. And it is absolutely fantastic. I highly, highly recommend picking it up. Play it single player, play it co-op, do whatever. We'd love to have more runners. I'm just going to keep this, because I have another run right after this. I'm keeping my shout-outs really quick. Shout-outs to the LEGO speedrunning community. You guys are fantastic. Thank you guys who have been up since 3 in the morning to be here and still watch this, because I know y'all are freaking tired. But I really appreciate it. Shout-outs to GSA for letting us show this off. It's been great to be back at Pace since I haven't been back here since 2019. And it's been great. So with that, I don't know, do you have anything else you want to say? Thumbs up.
Good
Perfect. So with that, thank you guys. You'll be seeing me again right after I'm literally the next run with Return of the King. So yeah, we will see you guys there.